Well, good afternoon, you crazy kids, and good evening to some of you if you are over in the United Kingdom. My apologies. Normally I go at 2 o'clock. My apologies for the lateness, the tardiness. But we decided today that we had to get a lot of a lot of things done in the house. And actually, I went to wash my car, and I got stuck in a line. I couldn't get out. So my apologies. We're going a little bit later today. But today, guys, today we're gonna do something a little bit deep today. A little bit deep. I want you guys to ask yourself, and as more and more people come on, I want to ask you to ask yourself, do you consider yourself to be a virtuous person? Do you consider yourself to be virtuous? I know Crazy Cook is like kind of random time, but I had to, I couldn't miss you guys. I had a mental day today, honestly, really crazy. And as you can see, the old neck, it's working pretty well. I can get to about there right now without it starting hurting. There on that side, up and down, it's pretty good. I still don't want to be going crazy on it. Hey Lisa, hey Courtney, all my usual peeps in the house, Crazy Cook, Adam, Rachel, my peeps in the house. All right. I consider myself emotional and adventurous. Well, listen, we're going to get into this. Hey, Cassie. While we wait for more people to come on because of the odd time, did you notice that everyone is so happy that Trump brought peace to the Middle East? They said he couldn't do it. They kept saying that he was going to get us into all these wars. All he's done is get us out of wars, which has been crazy. And the left hates that. And did you notice the moment that Trump brokered the ceasefire, they went, oh, well, no, well, we're not going to stop protesting, because they never were going to stop protesting. They never were going to stop protesting, because it's not about that. It is Marxism. This is communism. That's what they want. It was never, ever, ever about Israel. It'll be about the latest thing next. We all know it if you got a brain in your head. They're just going to move about, oh, Orange Man bad. How dare he go, sorting peace all over the world. Brrr. How dare he send the National Guard to stop people from killing each other in Washington, D.C. and Chicago and Portland. Brrr. Bad man, Orange Man bad. Do you understand what we're dealing with? Firstly, we're dealing with emotionally stunted individuals. I mean, these people are mental. I mean, saying they're emotionally stunted is kind of like a compliment to them. You're retarded. Groggy coffee. If Barack Obama had done what Donald Trump had done, or even Biden, well, you can't say Biden really because he was a vegetable money, let's face it. If the people that pulled the strings for Joe Biden had done what Trump has done, all these different ceasefires he's done, and he's been the greatest peacetime president probably of all time. He's been ending wars. And the left just doesn't know how to deal with that, right? Because we used to be about ending wars before we were for wars, but against them, but for them somehow. But people, you know what I mean? That's what they always like. If you noticed, it's always like, it's the granny, it's the Mexican children. Have you seen the one where they're only 15? Why is that man flex cuffing and put her on the ground? Well, maybe because that woman went on a robbing rampage. How about that? The weird thing is, the only time that I've seen the police weaponized is against the right. I've never seen the police weaponized against the left. Like, it's always the left doing stupid shit and the police getting them. Am I right? I mean, tell me. Almost every single time. Did you see I think I said this the other day. The woman in the parking, she drove. There were two incidents of it. One where a woman like parks a car in front of the ICE facility, blocking the way. You can't do that. We know what you're doing. No. Oh, I happened to. Oh no, I didn't mean. We know the game, and they know the game, and it's awesome seeing them say, "No, we're not playing it anymore." Because we've enabled these people for way too long. And then the last one was that black woman, right? Up at when she started resisting arrest. Stop resisting arrest, you morons. You know what? If your parents would have whooped you when you were a kid, you would not be resisting arrest against cops. Because even tough guys don't resist arrest. Yeah, right? What's up, Mr. Cause? You are witnessing a communist takeover. That's what you're witnessing. But we've got to the point now, we've got to breaking point. The emperor has no clothes. And Americans are like, I don't give a shit anymore. I kind of gave up when you started calling me Nazi. Because you don't know what I'm saying. I don't care anymore. Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. I do not care. And people become very dangerous when they don't care about things. You have to be in that mindset. You have to understand that there is a bigger thing at play. I was like that with COVID. I was like, no, I'm never taking that vaccine. And it will be the death of me. That is the thing that I am not going to compromise on because they want to give it to my children. And I am the buffer between them and my children. So if I have it, then there's one less buffer to it getting to them. They would have had to have killed me before I would have taken that vaccine. Sometimes you just got to put your flag in the ground and go, I am not moving. Crazy Cook just said, and it was the death of my sister. I'm really sorry to hear that. I know a bunch of people that have got these weird and wacky illnesses now. And I've got to tell you, like, listen, with my neck, I would have, even that, I would have thought, have I got like all these osteophytes now because I took the vaccine? I know that I have family members that have got weird things that are happening to them. Now, some aren't, but there are some out there. So you've got to... Oh, Cassie MH48. Listen, go and look up McCullough's protocol for that. Oh, it's so annoying. Hey, Rachel, do you know what? Here's a little bit of trivia for you. We did the cycling proficiency test, and guess who came top of the class on the cycling proficiency test? Me! And so they wanted to send me there was some kind of competition. You could go to the town, but guess what? I didn't have a bike. I borrowed someone's bike because we were so poor that I didn't have a bike. I think I borrowed my sister's. My sister had a bike. It was one of her like main presents, but I didn't have one. So yeah. There she is. Do you remember, Leanne? Do you remember when my sister's in the house? Say hello to my sister. Yeah. Do you remember that brown bike you had? And I had to go and do that. I think it was that I did the cycling proficiency test on, which was really lame because I'm a dude and I was doing it on my sister's bike. Do you remember that? That brown thing you had? Very interesting. It's my sister. She's awesome. Do you know what, guys? I'm going to let you into a secret. I asked her to come on today. And she was like, I can't. Hawk Cycle. There you go. I think I told you guys, my sister bought me, I don't know where it is now. I can't look around that much, but she bought me a Stretch Armstrong because she stuck pins in it. It was my Christmas present. She stuck pins in it. Still love her. Yeah, it did. Mr. Cause, it had that like, I think, was it, Leanne, was it straight across or was it like a scooped? I know it had the center bar was lower because for some reason, do you remember that? They were like, ladies need a lower bar, but men need a bar that they can get their testicles caught up on. I don't know why they thought of that. Why didn't they think, do you know what? Women are all right. We'll leave them with the top bar and we'll take the bar down for men. It was like you had to like ride along, ring your bell, you had to look, and I was just very, very anal about that stuff. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about today. I wanted to ask you guys, do you consider yourself to be virtuous? And it's kind of a loaded question, right? Because that doesn't mean perfect. Right? So what I want to talk about is the 4 cardinal virtues. Now, without Googling, who's going to be the first person to put up the 4 cardinal virtues? Tell me what they are. Who's going to be first? Come on. Don't you dare Google it. The 4 cardinal virtues. Still waiting. All right, I'm going to tell you. He's like only 60% of the time, all the time, yeah. So the cardinal virtues are prudence. They are courage, temperance. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. And justice. Okay, so I'm looking down here. I've got some notes. Now, the reason why I ask this is because if you do, there's a bunch of like little things, little courses you can go on online that will ask you, you know, what you are, ask you a bunch of questions, then they'll tell you where you're strong and where you're not strong. And a lot of people don't know. They think the cardinal virtues, because it comes mainly in a religious context, that it means it comes from like cardinal as in from the Catholic Church. Although it is, of course, related. Cardinal comes from the Latin hinge. Okay, so what it's saying is they're the things that everything hinge on, and they are. And I really want you guys to think about this, because it's very, very important in a crazy world to think about this. So they call prudence the charioteer of the virtues, and you know I'm going to talk about them a little bit, and I'm going to tell you how and you'll see very clearly how they start like connecting and working in tandem with one another. But they say that prudence is the charioteer of all of them, because you need that to start off with. So what is prudence? So prudence basically is you get as much information as you possibly can on something. Not too much, but not enough. And then you make a decision based upon that evidence. Okay? And that evidence can come in all different kind of ways, right? Because it links in with the other, you'll see it links in with the other virtues in a minute. So, for example, if you don't collect all that information and you've got less information and then you make a decision, then you're not making a prudent decision because you don't have as much of the facts as you possibly can. And if you rush to it, that's the same thing. And then you have the decision-making process. If you're not right in the head, like our leftist people, no, prudence is not being cautious. Be prudent is not rushing, you're not rushing into anything, which is what I'm saying right now. You're not rushing into it without taking into consideration both of these things, both of the gathering of information and then consider it, like thinking it through and then making a decision. It's basically wisdom or thinking before you jump kind of thing. All right. So that is, I know, Dorothy, you would be surprised how people don't make informed decisions this day and age. I mean, if you look at, this is why I want you guys to go and read about this. It's really important because this is going back to some fundamentals that you can base your life on in all this insanity. All right? So how is it that, let's just, I'll tell you what, let's just go through the different virtues. So one of my issues when I did self-reflection is I want to get going on stuff. And I could talk about all this, like I'm an extroverted person, and that means, I'm very forward thinking. I have vision on stuff, which is very frustrating sometimes when other people don't. But those kind of people don't tend to be like granular. Now, I can be granular if I really want to be. I don't like it, but I'm going to get onto that in a minute, how you use your disciplines to help you in that side of your life, right? So it's basically prudence. Just think about wisdom. Think of it as wisdom. And how that, like I said, you look at the situation. And by the way, this doesn't mean that like, oh, I'm gonna sell my car and I could make more money off it if I don't tell the truth about it. And what would that get me? Like, could they come back and could it bite me in the butt later on? You know what I mean? I know that's a bad analogy, but I'm just thinking about it off the top of my head. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. It's not just, am I going to profit from it financially? It's everything mixed in. What is the benefit of this? All right. Well, not in the cardinal virtue sense. We're looking at each one of the cardinal virtues, because each one of them has, because you've got some of them there, but you haven't got all of them. Lisa, I'm always honest to the point of fault, and my sister will tell you that as well. Like, I'm always honest and straight, and I always have been. I mean, we all have our moments, but for the majority of my life, I've been a straight up guy. So then you have to look at justice. So we got prudence, and justice is basically giving everyone their due. So like, if someone works really, really hard and you're paying them like, I don't know, $20 an hour, and you see they've gone above and beyond their work, and by the way, this works to be a good boss at work. You look and you go, well, that person has done extra and they didn't necessarily want it, but you should reward that. So that is giving people what they deserve, and you got to be careful with that one, right? Because some people deserve the greatest things. But you can still look at that and say, does someone who came into the country illegally deserve to be here? No. And that is true justice. And this is where people get it. If you have to balance the virtues, if you don't balance the virtues, then you get skewed. Like if you're too prudent, like it's all about the wisdom, then you lose a lot of the other stuff. You don't have courage, right? Because you're not going to move forward, or you might not have justice or temperance, which is what we're gonna. Yeah, they all JMC. They all intertwine, but we all have varying degrees of strengths in one or the other and weaknesses in the other. And so the reason why I wanted to ask this question is because I want you to question it. I want you to question yourself and say, where am I right now in my life? What virtues do I have? Which one of the cardinal virtues am I strong in? And which do I need to work on? Because you don't have time. You got to start it right now. Matthew Fealty just became a member. Welcome to the craziness, my friend. And of course, Sparkly Lion. Oh, yes. First one of the day. All right. So that's also with justice is treating people fairly. So yesterday I went to my son's soccer game. He scored again, by the way. He was actually doing 9 goals in 3 games, and then he had a couple where they had rough games, and he didn't get any. It was just tough for the team. They're a new team. They're just gelling, and then he scored again yesterday, even though they lost. So that's 10 goals in 6 games. Is that right? Yeah, 10 goals in 6 games. So kind of happy with that. He's doing really well. He's got very much a striker's eye for goal. He needs to work on all the rest of it. But all right, so he was running in on goal, and these 2 kids. I mean, don't forget he's 12, right? And he's like stick thin. He's like this. He's like this running down the street. The guys come behind him and they just shove him clearly in the back. It's just like completely brutal penalty. Well, it should have been a penalty, but guess what? The referee didn't give it. And it's not just because it's I get, Brits tend to get a little bit animated at these games. And I jump up, I'm like, referee. But it's just, I'm not yelling at the referee. I'm just like, oh, come on. And he gave a free kick on the edge of the area, which was BS. But that, you got to let it go. That is not treating someone fairly, right? Because the person, it wasn't even like and I know you do professional fouls in the game, but you don't shove someone in the back from behind. I mean, that's so dangerous because he's really fast. He's flying. They can't keep up with him. So they kind of reached out and pushed him, and he was over. And then he didn't get his reward from the ref. Interesting concept. Doing something, then getting held accountable for it. We all instinctively know that we should be held accountable. That's why I think sometimes these serial killers want to be caught, because they know inside that they're evil and they know they've done something horrible. I don't think it's just the egocentric maniac side of it. I think it's they're crazy, but I still think they have not humility. They're human. Their humanity still kind of digs at them. So it's also like upholding the truth. And we are seeing this everywhere right now, that people are just lying. And again, if my sister's still on here, she will tell you that I hate liars. I hate liars. It's probably the thing that if you ask my kids right now, If they're around, I'd call them in. I'd say, what does Daddy hate more than anything else in the world? And they will say, lying. Oh, I'll get there, Leanne. I'll get there. I'll get there. You have multiple strengths, actually, even though you don't see it in yourself, but your brother does. So there you go. So that also means respecting other people's rights. Well, this is the justice, the fairness element of the cardinal virtues is very, very relevant right now. Because look at what's happening at the border. Look at how the left is portraying ICE. They're doing clips, they're shortening the clips, they're lying. The problem with this is we're not at school anymore, right? This is a very, very serious thing, and this is going to get people killed. The fact that they continue to call people Nazis and white supremacists and all this. Charlie Kirk was shot in front of millions of people. It still haunts me. So, we have to stand up for these things. It matters. It really matters. It matters in your soul about who you are. We're all ordered in a certain way. I would argue that we're ordered to know and to love God. And you do that by operating at the best that you can be. And the best that you can be does not mean being extreme here and there. Does that make sense? Like, because you can be extremely hedonistic, it doesn't mean that's a good thing to do or be. But to be extremely honest is a good thing. Apart from when someone says, no, I'm not even going to say that actually, because that's BS. If someone asks me, does the dress look bad? And it looks bad, I'm going to tell them it looks bad. Because I don't want them to go out looking stupid. Or if I'm a dude and I don't know what dresses look good, to me, everything that my daughters put on, they look beautiful and everything. They could put on a burlap sack and look beautiful. So, honesty is the best policy, I find, and then you can live with yourself at the end of the day. Okay, now, next is courage, fortitude. We don't have a lot of that, do we? Right now, we don't have a lot of that. And unfortunately, I have been, for the longest time, this thing that I've been saying about come over and sign up for my show. Come over, subscribe, it's free. I think the people that don't do it lack courage. And that's my point about that thing is that why aren't you coming over? Why aren't you supporting? Are you afraid? And some people say, well, I don't do it because of Google. Come on now. Come on, you don't use Google Chrome. You don't have an Android. You want to go through all the litany of things that Google owns that you absolutely do use, but you choose to be make a stand on this one, which only affects me. It doesn't affect them. And I think a lot of people lack courage because it's like if you believe in God, do you believe in God? Do you behave every day like God is real? I know I don't. You give everything up and be absolutely dedicated to God. And, like with that guy who peed in St. Peter's, he would have got a severe slapping. See, everyone just stood there and watched. Now, I will say this. I would not have stood there and watched that. Sometimes you're like, and you guys know that I'm not full of crap because I went out and I was very vocal about COVID when nobody else was, or very few people, certainly no actors. They're all going, go and get your shot, because they're all effing lemmings. That's why they don't have a brain. between them. So, standing firm for what is right. I have. I did not think that it was fair that people should be forced to have a vaccine. And you saw it all over national newspapers and on the internet. And so, have I always? No, I'm not perfect. But there comes a point where you start asking yourself, what does it mean to be a dad? What does it mean to be a brother? What does it mean to be a son? What does it mean to be a husband? And for all you dudes out there, if you will not stand up for your family, I don't know what else you're going to stand up for. Oh my gosh, Todd Bryant. Oh, guys, I've got to tell you, talk about courage and men that have integrity. My buddy who's on right here now, Todd Bryant, who is an amazing stunt coordinator, might I say, and a terrific human being. I'm going to segue on this a little bit because we met on a show that we all thought was going to be massive, called Madso's War. And we had some crazy times, right, Todd? It was kind of mental because I was basically playing an amalgamation of Dana White, because Dana White was producing it, and Whitey Bulger. So we were plugged in, this is not a joke, to the Boston Mafia when we're up there. It was a little bit weird. And Todd will tell you. But this is a guy, I'm not going to say anything more, but this is a guy who stood up for what he believed in, and he lost his career. Amazing guy. Seriously, go follow Todd Bryant. One of the best. Like, seriously, one of the best people. I love you, brother. You're amazing. So, yeah, see, Todd will tell you, we were literally with the Boston Mafia. If I was to tell you guys all the things that have happened in my life that are just completely mental, that I'm like, what? Like, I get myself into all these situations, like with the Cray brothers. I told you about that, right? Crazy. Oh, my sister's going, see you, Leanne. Love you. Right back at you. It's from my buddy Todd. So courage. It's very apt that Todd Bryant came on when I was talking about courage. And this is, by the way, if you want to know who Todd is, do you remember the bit in Step Brothers where the bed collapses and breaks? He is Will Ferrell's stunt double on that. So he's one of the best in the business. And you don't get too many people like Todd Bryant in the world, I can tell you that. Certainly not in Hollywood. Temperance is the last one I'm going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about how these all... Oh, thank you, Todd. Don't make me blush. Temperance. This is really, really important. You can also call this self-mastery. Now, I have a lot of self-mastery in certain areas. So, for example, if I want to do a marathon, I mean, I got injured when I was getting up to it, so I ended up not doing it. But I decided one day I want to do a marathon. So I started training. I got up to like, I think 15 or 16 miles I was running. And 15 or 16 miles. And it wasn't a worry for me. Like, physically, to have self-mastery like that, doesn't matter. Like, I find that, I wouldn't say I find it easy, but I like getting my teeth into it. Cassie, in the his schnizzle. Gift 5 Matthew Marsden channel memberships. So those memberships go to Wendy B, California Cracker, Ben J, Michael Beacon. That sounds like Michael Beacon. I like the onomatopoeic of that Michael Beacon. What do you think? It should be like yes, I'm Michael Beacon. Sylvestris Grump. You all got memberships from the most awesome, and might I say beautiful. May I say that, Cassie? May I? Sparkly line for you. Oh, yes. Yes, please remember, as Mikey D says, to re-up your membership, please. Oh, that was Cassie said that. Normally it's Mikey D. Cassie said it. My sister's got a very pink hand there. That's a little bit racist. I'm just saying. You do not have a pink hand. Not that pink anyway. So self-mastery. Very, very important. Left has zero self-mastery. They're maniacs. Self-mastery is absolutely crucial. And what you're seeing in culture over the past few years is a bunch of people that are going, look at me, I'm a Navy SEAL, I have self-mastery. Yeah, but sometimes you don't, actually. It's not, I know a lot of guys, and it's just the way it is. A lot of guys are too extreme. A lot of guys lose their families over this. A lot of guys are massively disliked. And they're not massively disliked because they're achievers and they're disliked. They're disliked because they're assholes. So, again, self-mastery doesn't mean sacrificing everything for that thing. And now you see where prudence comes in. All right? The charioteer of the virtues. But it might be that you really are weak in an area. Are you drinking too much? Are you working too much? Are you doom scrolling too much? Are you, and that's on the negative side, like, are you doing this too much? Now on the other side, are you practicing things that would make you a better person? I'm going to give you guys a bit of homework tonight, and what I want you to do, I like this. I'm giving you homework. I want every one of you to spend 30 minutes today in quiet. Just sitting alone and let everything be quiet. Because you will be surprised how much clarity you get on stuff. It's funny because as a Catholic, we're asked to... Oh, Ed Parker, thank you. Yeah, look at it. My neck's going all right. Look. See, I actually did a little shave the other day. Lisa, do it again. So I want you guys to just say, okay, 30 minutes. I'm going to just be quiet. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, whoa, this is crazy. Why do I feel so awkward right now? Because you probably, for most people, you haven't had quiet in a very long time. And I think sometimes no, you can do it. You can do it. Hey, Tom, I don't hear these excuses. I want you guys to do it tonight, even if you're going to bed and even if you end up falling asleep. But I want you to just lie there, look up at the ceiling, just think, and give yourself 30 minutes. And like I was saying, so Catholics, we go to adoration, and adoration is when they put the Eucharist up on the top of the altar and people go and they sit in front of it. And you pray or just be in the presence of God, because Catholics believe in transubstantiation, which is the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, which, by the way, they did at the very beginning, and I could get into that if you want to look at why a third of the people walked away when Jesus says, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, there will be no life in you. And a third of the people went away. But we can go to that another time. But the point is you get silence for 30 minutes. And that really will put a lot of stuff into perspective. Firstly, it'll show you how your mind is racing. Like your mind is like... And you need quiet. Hey, Aussie Queen. Hey! G'day, mate. Come on, I have this when people go, chip cheerio, mate. I'm going to put another shrimp on the barbie. How many people say that to you when they know? By the way, I want to tell you, I get asked if I'm Australian. Like, I rarely get asked if I'm British. I don't know why that is. But I'm always asked if I'm an Aussie. Don't know why that is. All right, so how do these things work? Well, you have the charioteer, which is prudence. Come on now. And let's say let's just say my example of standing up against the vaccine. What did that entail? Well, first, it did take prudence, right? So I had to take, firstly, about the vaccine. So I take all the information that I know and logically play things through, right? Logically think, okay, hang on. They said that you couldn't catch it and you couldn't transmit it. And then they said, oh, you both have to have it for it not to transmit. And hang on a minute. And then they were like, well, just like kind of lessen symptoms. But the biggest one for me was when they turned around and said, your kids don't have symptoms, but they must take the vaccine. And I'm like, you guys are monsters, and there is no way my kids are taking the vaccine. There is no way. So what did I do? I got as much information as I possibly could, even though everyone was like, you're not a doctor. So I said, well, I played one once in a movie. You're not a doctor. Neither is Joe Biden. What up, gun caddy? Drifter's here, man. That's a whole thing. He knows. All right. So, information. Then I made a decision, right? I made a decision, and I think it was a wise decision, right? I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but that was a wise decision. Well, then what came next? Speaking up about it. So what does that take? Does it take courage or stupidity? I don't know about that. You know, a lot of people would say it was stupidity, right? But I thought at the time that people needed to know that they weren't alone. I knew that it would get me into a lot of trouble. But utilizing what? The other cardinal virtue, justice. I knew that people needed to know that they were right in saying that they should have a choice. They were not being treated fairly. They were not being spoken to properly. They were being lied to. So then that goes with the courage to open your giant gob and say, I am not getting the vaccine. Do you know what was funny about that? I said, I'm not, they're not forcing me to put a chemical in my arm. It's a chemical. It is a chemical. It was a chemical. Honestly, these people are so stupid. They're so stupid. And then you go into the last of the cardinal virtues that I've said anyways, temperance, self-control. You don't lose your crap when they're calling you all these different names. Now, I get passionate when I talk about these things, shall we say, but I exert a lot of self-control. I am, from anyone who knows the area that I come from in the UK, it's a little bit kind of rough. And, I look back, it's like a different world. But we used to sell things a different way. And to be honest, I wish it was like that now. I really do. I wish it was like you could have a disagreement with someone, you go outside and you'd have a punch up and then it'd be all over and done with. And that was it. I honestly wish it was like that. I think that we have absolutely gone backwards in this, the threat of getting your teeth smashed in if you speak shit to someone or about their family is a real leveler. Anyway, it doesn't mean that you go brawling in the street. Again, it's like all these people that are fighting in the waffle houses and all that. And by the way, what is it that it's women? And normally, I'm going to say it, black women, right? Like nearly on all of those videos, it's black women. There are some white trash in there, but the majority of them are black women. And the majority of blah, 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 blah. 20 years ago, black women were not like that at all. I can tell you. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, let's say, I'll tell you, these black women were the envy. Most guys were like, oh man, those girls, they treat you like a king. It was totally different back then. If you think about all those songs where it's about, the R&B, where you're my man and, totally changed now. It is absolutely rage. It's absolutely no fathers. But you can break the cycle. I did. You can break the cycle. It's difficult, but you can break the cycle. You need a ramp. You need a way out. And the way that I think for me was that I had just an amazing family, amazing support system. And I think that God saved me. And when I say that, I don't feel like, like warm and fuzzy inside. I am not, that is not my faith. My faith comes from knowing, from looking at Thomas Aquinas' 5 proofs and looking at, that's why these things, we've forgotten this. We've forgotten the cardinal virtues. These are things to live by. So again, temperance, keeping desires and emotion in check. By the way, look at how people are, and I hate to say this, but like sex, porn, all that stuff is having a lack of self-mastery. And listen, I'll tell you where I have a lack of self-mastery is like I am a nighttime eater. Like today I'll tell you what I've eaten. I had 3 cups of coffee in the morning. Crockett Coffee, Matthew 20. Go and get yours. You get 20% off site-wide. A company that's that is owned by Buck Sexton, Clay Travis, and Mason Sexton. You like that? Like seamless move into that. It is really, really great coffee. They give money to Tunnels to Towers. I believe it's 10% of their profits. So go support them. Don't give money to people who hate you. So anyway, I had 3 giant cups of coffee. Do have creamer in it. Then I had a protein shake. So I'm still taking muscle relaxants for my neck. And then lunchtime, I had these kind of wraps, chicken wrap. But then I'll get to the night and I'll be like, especially if I worked out. I don't know if you guys like this. I will work out. And like for 2 hours, I'll be like, I don't want to eat anything. And then the 3rd hour, I'm like, I will eat anything that is in front of me. I'd eat my neck brace, right? Because I just want to eat everything. That was really like that when I was running. When I used to do those long runs, I was like, just give me everything. You know that part in Leon where he goes, what should we do? He goes, send everyone. And he goes, what? Send everyone. Crockett Coffee link. No, you know what? I have got it should be in there. I don't know why it's not. But let's bring this up. Crockett Coffee. There it is. There's your crockettcoffee.com discount. Matthew 20 for 20% off store-wide. Anyways, I'll leave that up for a little bit. I don't know why that's gone, actually. That should be up there. I'll go and have another look. I'll go and have a butcher's in a little while. So, all right. You see how all the different virtues work together? And I want to ask you right now, which one do you lack? Do you lack courage? Do you lack prudence? Do you lack a sense of justice? Like, are you actually doing something about it? Or self-mastery? Temperance? Which one do you lack? Let's be honest. Come on. This is a counseling session. Only 1,000 people are seeing your deepest, darkest secrets. Mine was prudence and self-mastery, both, because I want to get stuff done, so I rush into it. And that's not good. I have to exercise prudence. I have to slow down and start taking things incrementally. And that means I need self-mastery as well. See, they both work together. I need self-mastery. Temperance. Yep. If we reflect on it, I would say most people, certainly my people, they don't have a problem with justice and they don't have a problem with courage. Because my people are fierce. The people that watch this show are my people. Come on, temperance. Dorothy said temperance. Vinzinger. So, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Vinzinger. Self-mastery and prudence, yeah. Prudence and temperance. Guys, yeah. There's a lot of it going around, right? I used to be a rage. I still work on patience. Yeah, it's difficult. And you have to, firstly, you know what's really good with that, Blue State Grace, is you're probably, not saying definitely, there's someone that you need to forgive. Tell me if that resonates with you. A bit of everything. Yeah, listen, you know what, guys? We are not meant to take in all the information that we're getting right now. We're not. Our brains are not wired for it. It's come too quickly. It's too fast. It's too much for us to deal with. So you have to unplug, guys. You've got to unplug. I realized the other day, I get so angry sometimes at the lies because it's not going to affect me, right? But I have a sense of justice, that these things that these people are saying are going to harm good people. I mean, really harm good people. The classic example is Charlie Kirk. They still say he was a bad person. That guy, I know multiple people who knew him personally and said he was an absolute sweetheart. Do you know what? You have got to forgive yourself. Do you know why you've got to forgive yourself? Because if you ask God to forgive you, He will. And if He forgives you, how can you not forgive yourself? What you're doing is say that your will and you are more important than the Creator. So you have to forgive yourself. So I want you to do that today. No, Lisa, listen. So Lisa just said, it's been like it for many years, and it's when I go quiet, then I break, and I can't afford to break. No, Let grace come into your life. You need that silence. It's just silence. It's just quiet. It's okay. You think you're brave. You're a lot stronger than you think. I hate to tell you. I mean, I've seen it on here. Sweet Earth Farm, hello. What did Dorothy say? Oh, you went to a new church, Dorothy. Amazing. So I want you guys to really think about that over the next. And by the way, the temperance aspect of it means being disciplined. So there's the two. I actually want two things for you guys to do. Firstly, spend 30 minutes in quiet. Even you, Lisa. Uh-oh. He had to come in. All right, I'm going to let him up, even though he's got to watch my neck. Come on then, you maniac. Come on. Come on. Are you being gentle? Oh, don't be there. Don't go there. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Oh, you are such a ham. Look at him. He's like, look at me. I'm a noble dog. Are you a noble dog? Go on then. Oh, no, you missed me. He's been very, very clingy since I had the operation because he didn't like not coming with me. So he just like, he's totally like that. He's like, Dad, let me kiss you. He will not leave me alone, honestly. And I just bought him a new leash because do you know what he likes doing? He likes chewing leashes. Yes, he does. Here we go. Some Norwegian guy. I've struggled with existential depression for many years. I truly wish I could believe in something more. Not sure how though without forcing myself. Listen, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice on this. It's just like an exercise. Firstly, don't force it. But for me, what really changed things was thinking about Thomas Aquinas' 5 proofs for the existence of God. And that is, you can go and read, it's so funny because my friend Ed Fazer has a book on this. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about Ed Fazer. So Ed Fazer was an atheist philosopher. And he said, well, if I'm going to teach philosophy, I need to know Thomas Aquinas, so I can refute him, so I could argue in the class with the kids. So he starts reading Aquinas and he goes, hang on a minute. The arguments that I have heard against Thomas Aquinas are straw man arguments, which means that people are arguing against something that he never said. So, for example, the unmoved mover, right? The unmoved mover. So everything, like they'll say, oh, everything has a cause and effect. No, it's the uncaused cause of everything. There was something. And I could go into all that, but I'd really recommend that. Like looking into Thomas Aquinas, because if you understand that we have a purpose, we really do have a purpose, and we're going away from it. We're going away from it, and that's why you're depressed, dude. Trust me. And you don't think that it's been difficult for me when, I look and for no reason, I got cancelled out of Hollywood, like for no reason, just for living a life that I didn't think was controversial at all. Never said anything to anybody about it. And then they're like, no, and all of a sudden the work stops and then you still see now I see people that were below me on the call sheet, like they're still making millions of dollars in Hollywood. And then I get, I'm online and people are going, you weren't any good anyway, you're not. And so there are moments, right, where I am like, why can't I just do my job, right? Like, why did this happen? And then when you realize that it's all for the betterment, because you could look right now and say, why did this happen to me? But I'll guarantee you that every single thing that you've gone through has made you a stronger, better person. But if you don't have the context of why, then none of it matters, right? You're like, this is just the world. I'm going through the world. I'm going to die and that's it. It's not true. You have a soul. And if you don't believe me, Norwegian guy, go and have a look at the video I did with Jim Burnham, who talks about having an immortal soul. right? That's why we can understand immaterial things like 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 = 4 exists outside of the known, like outside of material things. So it's a spiritual thing. Even we're talking about the cardinal virtues, even justice. Justice is an immaterial concept, and you understand it. How? You think Scuba the Wonder Dog understands that? Of course not. Scuba the Wonder Dog, even if he had a brain, wouldn't understand it. So, because, yeah, no, Dorothy, absolutely. Right? And I'm very grateful. Listen, I have what I've always wanted. I've been married for 20 years and I have a bunch of kids. And I was thinking about this the other day, like, how amazing is it for me that when I die, that I'll be able to look up and that's the legacy that I have sitting around my bed, hopefully. Well, at least some of them. I get at least 50% of them. So even then it's like 5 or 4, right? So, well, Zephyr, thank you for that. And you know what? I see a lot of really wonderful things happening on here. So, Norwegian guy, people think that religion is restrictive, right? In the same way they think that diets are restrictive. Because say that you should have, you know, you shouldn't smoke or you shouldn't drink alcohol or, you know, a lot of alcohol, or you shouldn't eat lots of candy. All that is bad for you. All that is excess. It means that you can't control your appetites in the formal meaning of them. Right? That's what that means. But the restricting of the diet just means having what your body needs. Like, we just can't control ourselves. Again, temperance. Right? Because we want it. We want, you know, we get hooked on that sugar, whatever it might be. But actually restricting your diet to good things is what your body should have. And it's the same for your soul. Okay? Restricting what you do is actually good for you. If I said to you, restrict what you do, like don't jump off the building, you'd be like, but I want to. And I'm like, well, you want to and you can, but it's not good for you. I mean, that's an extreme example, right? That's an extreme example of it. But the truth is the restrictions that you have in the religion is for your benefit. It's so you can live your life better and to be getting the grace that you need. Because we have a broken nature. That's why these virtues, and you guys know, that's why I want you to look through them. Because honestly, if you form the habits that are going to make you better, if you form the habits that are going to get rid of these disproportionate elements in your life, like, you know, do you drink too much? Do you not exercise enough? Do you eat too much? Do you watch too much television? And we all know it. We all know it. I sat the other day and I'm like, and I spend, honestly, more time with my kids than I'd say 98% of dads, just because of my job, right? The way it works. I spend all my time, a lot of my time with my kids. But then I was like, am I fully engaged with them all the time? Am I fully engaged with them all the time? And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. When I'm going to come and do a show like this, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. And I might be sitting there with my kids at lunch, especially on a Sunday, right? Because Sunday lunch. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to talk about today? Because I like leaving it in case anything happens in the day that we can talk about. And I was thinking, no, I've got to be present. I've got to be present. And that's what you have to be. You've only got right now. You've only got right now. You don't know if tomorrow's coming. Teresa Warner gives 5 Matthew Mosley channel memberships. Ron Cook, match 5791. Leslie, I'm just wondering why Leslie's Leslie Schumacher. I don't know. Ford. Stephen Brown. Golden Brown. You get a sparkly line. Yes, you do. And let's go and thank the most awesome. I've got to say, I know it's embarrassing, Teresa, saying in front of all these people, but the most beautiful, Teresa Warner. I'm going to give you another round of applause. There you go. All right. So here we go. This is what I want you to do. Go and buy Crockett coffee. I'm joking. Not really, but kind of, but no. No, this is what I want you to do. Tonight, I want you to spend 30 minutes in silence. That's the first thing. Tomorrow, when you wake up in bed, meep, 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 meep. My wife hates the alarm that I have. I have that one that's because I'm not going to get out of bed. I used to be a morning person, mainly because when I used to get up, it was so cold in my house that I was like, and I had to get out of bed, else I never would have got out. So I used to be a morning person, not so much now. I want you to be thankful for something every morning. I want you to say, I am so thankful for Bup. I am so thankful for Bup. It can be, I'm thankful for being able to get out of bed. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my house. I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for whatever. I'm thankful for my coffee that I'm drinking. It doesn't matter. I don't care. And I want you to do that every day. Every day. Say, I'm thankful. Oh, I'm certain. Come here, you. You want to see my little one? So I get my little one. Blaze. Oh. Where's Blaze? Send him here. Send him here a minute. Oh, no, he's off. Anyway. Crazy Cook. I know this might sound stupid, right? Oh, no, I got a dog instead. All right, guys. So that is your homework. 30 minutes tonight in solitude. Just have quiet, including you, Lisa. Including you. And I want us to build on the virtues. Okay? We're going to build on them together because we can hold each other accountable, which is what this channel is all about. It's growing, it's building community, it's healing. I'm not going to go down the clickbait route that other people do. And for the kids that watch me, that are in my kids' class, go and speak to your principal and tell him what Mr. Marsden was talking about, the cardinal virtues, and then you got to thank your principal because she's awesome in what she teaches, okay? So guys, with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am always so grateful that I have this community and we're building this and it's organic. And you guys seem to like Sundays. Right? You guys seem to like Sundays. And so do I. I've got a couple of recordings I'm going to do that I'm going to pop out there because I think you guys will really appreciate them. So again, 30 minutes tonight. I want a hand count. I want to put your hand up if you're going to do it. Come on, put your hands up. We are not going to let the bastards get us down. Right? We're going to get back to the way it was. We're going to work on ourselves and then we're going to be the change that we want to see in the world, right? I know people have said that's corny BS, but it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. We can do this. We can be different. Hands up. Come on. Who's doing it tonight? Who's doing the reflection and the gratitude in the morning? Hands up. Come on. I want to see you. 2 hands up from the Crazy Cook. JMC's up. Steve Brown, Mike D, Cassie, Rachel, Zephyr. Crazy Cook's doing it twice. Thank you, Adam. Oh, kids on camera, but he yaps a lot. He talks a lot. Guys, you're amazing. See, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. And let's build this. Let's continue building this. And I look forward to hearing you tomorrow. I'm going to ask you tomorrow what you did and what you were grateful for. And we gotta start getting this into our lives. And oh my gosh, before we go, he's brought me, bring it here then. He just brought me a plushy dog. He brought me an offering. Archer did. Pass it here. Thank you. Oh, he doesn't like the Frenchie. Look, go on and take it. That's one of my kids. Thank goodness I have like 1,000 plushies here that Archer eats all of them. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Some Norwegian guy. We got you. We got you. Okay. And I want you to do something for me. I want you to change your profile name. You're not some Norwegian guy anymore. You're the Norwegian guy. The Norwegian guy. All right? We got you. Remember, not all actors are like this, I promise. God bless.